This page is the front cover of the Nintendo official magazine, hyping up the N64's dominance with a feature on WWF No Mercy and the chance to get new for Pokémon fans. It also highlights Mario Tennis, Perfect Dark, and ISS Millennium, promising news and previews, and every N64 game tested. A £2.95 price point, and August issue 95 date, confirm its vintage appeal. This page is a cracking full-page advert for Pokémon Yellow, the special Pikachu edition for Game Boy. It boldly declares, "It's Pikachu and you," showcasing the beloved electric mouse, and promising a new adventure just like the cartoon. Get ready to embark on a journey with Pikachu, and discover new strategies, with special rewards if you keep your partner happy. This page is a fantastic opener, declaring Nintendo official magazine is the UK's biggest and best-selling, and we're treated to a lineup of the team behind it all. Tim, Barry, Alex, Mark, Sean, Tamsin, Dave, and Nicola. They're giving us the lowdown on why you should be reading their mag, promising the first look at new Nintendo 64 and Game Boy games, loads of screenshots, and tips and cheats that actually work. Plus they're so confident in their content, they reckon you won't need any other magazines. Down below we get a sneak peek at what's inside this issue, with WWF No Mercy getting a first play, and Mario Tennis and Perfect Dark also getting a mention, alongside ISS Millennium. It also gives us contact details for getting in touch, whether by post, phone or email, and reminds us to check out the email rules on P66 before you write to us. Sounds like a plan. This page is a vibrant and action-packed cover, hyping up the latest and greatest in the Nintendo universe. We've got WWF No Mercy front and center, promising a massive dose of wrestling action. Then there's ISS Millennium, lauded as the best football sim to grace the N64, which sounds like a real winner for sports fans. The game news section is crammed with previews of upcoming titles, including Army Men Sarge's Heroes 2, Blues Brothers 2000, Cruisin' Exotica, Dolphin News, Fighter Destiny 2, Mario Tennis 64, and even Resident Evil 2 and StarCraft 64. It's a veritable smorgasbord of gaming goodness, also highlighting Turok 3 and Donald Duck Quack Attack. Plus, we get a quick shout out to Game Boy Color and the Nintendo 64, with some slick new for stickers. This issue is clearly going to be a treat for any Nintendo enthusiast. This page is a cracking start to the reviews section. We've got Excitebike 64 on page 24, promising the roughest ride of your life. Sounds like a real test of skill. Then there's Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards on page 30, where our favorite pink blob is off on some crazy cartoon adventures that are apparently going to suck you in. Blimey, sounds intense for a little chap. And for the true Nintendo aficionados, Total Test on page 35 offers the world's biggest roundup of games and goodies, completely tested by their experts, no less. Over in the Blagfest on page 77, it looks like you can snag some goodies by answering some tricky teasers about Batman comic books, WCW videos, Taz Express games, Chicken Run beanies, and WWF toys and trading cards. Lastly, the Game Guide section has the biggest and best and 64 tips, with Perfect Dark on page 52, and some official tips for page 44, your tips for page 48, and your scores for page 50. There's also a bit about new download dates on page 70, but frankly, who's interested in that when there's N64 goodness to be had? This page is a full-page advert for WWF No Mercy on the Nintendo 64. It features a menacing shot of Kane, hyping up Big Game, and non-exclusive Better Moves Best WWF Game. The next page is a vibrant advert for WWF No Mercy on the Nintendo 64, boasting back by popular demand. It highlights that the game builds upon WWF WrestleMania 2000, promising faster fighters, smoother moves, and more grappling superstars. The screenshot showcases a wrestling match, and the text teases the inclusion of beloved characters like The Rock and new ones such as Chris Benoit. This promises to be the best WWF wrestler game on the N64 yet. This page dives into the gritty details of WWF No Mercy, focusing on the blood and gore mode, which finally lets you see some proper wrestling carnage. It also covers the various match modes on offer, including the Royal Rumble and the daunting 100 Wrestler Survival mode. Plus, we get a look at some of the brutal weapons you can wield, like the kendo sword and the ever-popular barbed wire bat, perfect for when you want to inflict maximum pain. It's a good overview of how to really get stuck into the action. This page is a full-page advert for Fanta, featuring a bottle of Fanta and graphics of bubbles. The advert encourages readers to want to take over Fanta House, and offers a chance to win a 48-hour stay. This page dives into the exciting world of WWF No Mercy for the Nintendo 64, showcasing two key features: Guest Referee and Creator Wrestler. We get a glimpse of the Guest Referee mode, where you can choose from the extensive roster to officiate matches, adding a hilarious twist to your gameplay. The Creator Wrestler mode is highlighted as being even better than in WWF WrestleMania 2000, promising more options to craft your ultimate superstar. The page also introduces grudge matches, a new feature that will make wrestlers develop rivalries, leading to backstage scuffles and more intense encounters, truly upping the ante for serious bout action. It even teases controlling The Rock for a series of these grudge matches to see who reigns supreme. This looks like it's going to be a seriously good time for any wrestling fan. This page is a full-page advert for Virgin Cola's iCam promotion, offering money off sleds, games, movies, flights, and holidays. This page is a full-page poster featuring Kane from the World Wrestling Federation, engulfed in flames. The Nintendo 64 logo and poster text are visible at the top, with the WWF logo and World Wrestling Federation branding at the bottom. It's a powerful visual, really capturing the intensity of the character. This page is a full-page advertisement showcasing a range of WWF merchandise. It features a wrestling ring with figures, a Warzone banner, and details on items like the Head Crusher, Titantron Arena, WWF belt, WWF figures, and WWF ring, complete with prices and brief descriptions. It's a proper dive into the WWF toy universe. This page dives into the in and out of WWF No Mercy, highlighting new superstars like Chris Benoit, Rikishi, Kurt Angle, the Dudley Boys, and Taz. The reviewer is clearly impressed with the sheer number of wrestlers featured, noting that it's a significant jump from WrestleMania 2000. There's also a handy guide to the Nintendo 64 controller, explaining the function of each button: the L button for escaping holds, the R button for taunting, the C buttons for sprinting and bouncing off ropes, and the A button for locking on and performing moves. It's essential stuff for any aspiring grappler. This page showcases the impressive replay system in WWF No Mercy, allowing players to view the action from multiple angles and analyze their moves. The reviewer is particularly pleased with the clarity of the animations, noting the improvement since WWF WrestleMania 2000. It also features a section titled, More to Come, teasing future news on the transfer pack, Creator Wrestler, and roster additions, building anticipation for the game's release. The bottom half of the page is a vibrant advert for wacky races on Dreamcast and Game Boy Color, featuring iconic characters like Dick Dastardly and Muttley racing in their outlandish vehicles. This page is a full-page advert for International Superstar Soccer Millennium. It highlights the game's exciting Euro 2000 content, realistic animation, and silky skills, calling it a footy fan's dream. The game promises an ultimate football fest with better graphics and gameplay. This page is a full-page advert for International Superstar Soccer Millennium, showcasing the game with two prominent players locked in a footballing battle. The backdrop features a shimmering cityscape and a starry night sky, setting a dramatic stage for the big game. It really does look like a footy fan's dream, packed with all the Euro 2000 action you could wish for. This page dives into International Superstar Soccer Millennium, offering insights into game modes and player customization. It highlights the Choose Your Match options, including exhibition, leagues, and tournaments, and touches on penalty shootout for quick thrills. The Who the Hell Are You section delves into team customization, noting that while real player names are included, you can input your own perfect England 11. The Improve Your Team section advises on pre-game strategy, like choosing the right formation and individual player assignments, emphasizing the importance of a good penalty taker and a solid goalkeeper. It's a solid look at how to get the most out of this impressive football simulation. This page dives into some of the impressive improvements found in ISS Millennium, focusing on gameplay mechanics. Loose balls are now more dynamic, with keepers more intelligently parrying them to safety. Keeper intelligence is highlighted as a significant upgrade, with goalkeepers actively dealing with loose balls and preventing easy goals. Improved tricks showcase new moves at the player's disposal, including a 360-degree spin. The commentary is also praised for its improvement, making the game more engaging, and the stadium crowd adds to the realism. Finally, the page touches on through ball mechanics and shooting, suggesting that attacks from the edge of the box or wide crosses are particularly effective. This page is all about the new career mode in ISS Millennium, a feature that lets you join the ranks of a first team and hopefully make your way onto the national stage. The reviewer seems quite impressed with the new career mode, highlighting the different aspects that make it a must-have for football fans. We've got sections on training, which is apparently the best way to boost your skills, and relax, which is for recovering from injuries. There's also a bit on talking, which seems to involve getting advice from key figures. And of course there's the practice match mode, which you'd better make the most of, because missing your targets might just send you back to the subs bench. The page also touches on multiplayer fun, with computer-controlled opponents proving to be quite a challenge, especially when they're making you pay for your mistakes with cynical fouls. It sounds like a real laugh, especially when your friend's keeper drops the ball. The reviewer's final verdict? Better gameplay and realism are great, but career mode needs a bit more polish to be truly appealing. A bit of a mixed bag then, but still sounds like a blast for any football fanatic. This page is a full-page advert for Gamester accessories for the Game Boy, featuring a rather cheeky banana theme. This page is a vibrant advert for the Nickelodeon Red Hot Lobster Tour, a summer event featuring new bands and games. It highlights the tour's stops across the UK, with dates and locations for July, August and September, promising great prizes and the messiest, noisiest, gackiest kid game show. There's also a nod to gaming with images of a PlayStation, a Dreamcast, and a Sony minidisc player, suggesting a fun-filled, tech-savvy experience for attendees. This page is a cracking advert for Nickelodeon's summer programming, featuring SpongeBob SquarePants and Ren and Stimpy. It tells us that SpongeBob is your host for the summer, airing every weekday afternoon from 14 p.m, with back-to-back episodes of Rugrats, Rocket Power, The Wild Thornberrys' Hey Arnold, and Rocko's Modern Life. Ren and Stimpy are also back for the summer holidays. Tune in every weekday morning from 8:09 a.m. It's a blast from the past with all these classic cartoons ready to entertain. This page delivers a punchy review of Excitebike 64 and Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards. The reviewer clearly loved Excitebike 64, calling it an amazing game you must play, and awarding it the coveted awesome accolade, which they only reserve for games scoring over 90%. Kirby 64 also gets a nod for its cuteness and fun factor. The page is dominated by a massive image of a motocross bike wheel, with Rough and Get Over emblazoned on it, really setting the tone for the adrenaline-fueled Excitebike 64. It's a visually striking spread that hypes up these N64 titles. This page is a cracking full-page advert for Excitebike 64, hyping it up as motorbike heaven. It promises a thrilling experience with tough courses and the chance to conquer them all. Get ready for the hottest thing on two wheels, it boldly proclaims, urging players to embrace the rough-and-tumble world of motocross. This page dives deep into the riders available in Excitebike 64, highlighting their strengths and specialties. We're introduced to Bobby Big Dog Malone, who boasts maximum turbo and impressive jumping power, making him a handful. Then there's Jumping Jim Rivers, a solid all-rounder perfect for newcomers. Tricky Ricky Stern, though a bit slower, compensates with spectacular jumps and airtime. Finally, Sarah Sugarhill is presented as the Queen of Cornering, adept on twisty courses. The review praises the bike handling as absolute beasts, demanding skill around corners and meticulous jump execution. It also touches upon the multiplayer mayhem, where knocking opponents off their bikes and stealing victory is a key part of the fun. The game offers various modes, including a track editor, ensuring plenty of replayability. It's clear the reviewer is having a blast, and honestly, who wouldn't when you can send rivals flying into barriers? Cool indeed. This page really gets down to the nitty-gritty of controlling your bike in Excitebike 64, and frankly it makes the whole experience sound as natural as breathing. We're treated to a close-up of that iconic controller, explaining how the Z-trigger gives you that all-important turbo boost for those epic jump moments, while the R button helps you lean into those tight corners. The A and B buttons are your bread and butter for controlling your throttle and braking, and the 3D stick, well, that's your ticket to mastering airtime and steering through those tricky turns. The game also showcases some of its awesome tracks. Mountain Quarry sounds like a real challenge with its ups and downs, perfect for a rugged rider. Lefty's Mill throws in water obstacles and log flumes, keeping you on your toes. Then we have Canyon Chasm, which promises some of the biggest jumps known to man with its tunnel-filled layout. For a more tropical vibe, Congo Course offers beautiful scenery to distract you, and the reviewer's advice to focus on the track is spot on. Finally, the turbo takeoff and maximum airtime tips are crucial for getting the most out of your jumps. It sounds like a game that really rewards skill and precision, and those screenshots look absolutely brilliant. You can almost feel the dirt flying. This page dives headfirst into the multiplayer madness of Excitebike 64. The reviewer is clearly impressed, praising the split-screen graphics and how the excitement levels never dip, even with 4 players. They highlight the fun of trying to outdo each other with stunts, noting that the graphics still shine even in multiplayer. The sounds are also lauded, with the engines roaring and music pumping to amp up the adrenaline. The page then showcases some of the game's signature stunts, like the bar hop and fender kiss, each with its own point value, and a brief cheeky description, even mentioning the saran wrap stunt, which sounds utterly ridiculous and brilliant. It's clear that while winning races is one way to score, pulling off these outrageous moves is where the real fun and points lie. Sounds like a proper blast for you and your mates. This page gives us a look back at the original Excitebike NES game, and then dives into the N64 version. The reviewer is waxing nostalgic about the old-school graphics, which they say still hold up surprisingly well today, and then highlights the N64's track editor, allowing players to create their own custom courses with ease. Apparently you can whip one up in the time it takes to boil a kettle. We're also treated to a glimpse of the different game modes, including the stunt course and desert modes, which sound like a right laugh for those looking for something a bit different. The overall impression is that Excitebike 64 offers a solid dose of retro fun with some modern twists. And that game score? A whopping 93%. Not bad at all for a bit of motocross mayhem. This page features a glowing review of Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards. The reviewer is clearly chuffed with Kirby's latest adventure, praising its fun gameplay, vibrant worlds, and the classic Kirby charm. We see screenshots of Kirby inhaling enemies to gain new abilities and navigating colorful landscapes, with one image highlighting how Kirby can use an enemy to fly over gaps. Another screenshot shows Kirby in a jungle-like setting, hinting at the puzzle solving required to collect the titular crystal shards. The review emphasizes that while some shards are easy to grab, others will really get you thinking. It's all very positive, suggesting this is another must-have for any Nintendo 64 owner. This page is a breakdown of Kirby's power-up system in Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, detailing how he can combine abilities for new attacks. We see the bombs and rocks powers, where Kirby can become a cannonball or a rocky projectile. Then there's Spear, which gives Kirby spikes, and Electric, which allows him to shock enemies. The page also highlights Ice for freezing foes, and Cutter for sharp attacks. It then moves on to explain the combo power, showing how to inhale, spit, and combine abilities, with a step-by-step guide on creating a burning sword. The reviewer is clearly impressed with the versatility and fun these combos bring, noting that players will need to master them to finish the game. The overall impression is that Kirby 64 offers a fantastic and accessible experience, with the page itself being visually engaging and informative, just like the game itself. This page showcases Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, giving us a look at its boss battles, sound design, and multiplayer options. In Dodder Boss, we learn that Kirby tackles a new boss at the end of each world, often involving spitting enemies back at them, but thankfully, it's not too violent. The All Change section gives us a glimpse into Kirby's evolution over the years, with a screenshot showing his N64 debut, looking rather different from previous iterations. The Sound section praises the game's audio, describing it as nice and cheery with fitting sound effects. It highlights Kirby's underwater adventure with a shark, and his ability to hold his breath indefinitely. Meanwhile, the Withmates section introduces the multiplayer aspect, explaining that while it's primarily a single-player game, there are a couple of bonus games for friends. One of these is a comical sack race, where you must avoid puddles, and another involves catching falling fruit. The game length section confidently states that while not the toughest game, it's packed with fun, brilliant weapons and moves. The overall game score is an impressive 83%, with the reviewer noting that Kirby 64 is incredibly sweet and perfect for younger players, offering a really cool platformer experience beneath its colorful visuals and cute characters. It seems Kirby still got it. This page is a full-page advert for the Nintendo Store, promising guaranteed lowest N64 prices and a better online experience. This page is a vibrant full-page advertisement for the Pokémon Pikachu, a unique digital pet that clips to your belt. It features Ash Ketchum and Pikachu prominently, showcasing the device's ability to count steps, generate watts, and even play minigames. The ad highlights that Pikachu is a self-sufficient companion, needing minimal attention but enjoying walks. It's presented as a friend for life, a playful blend of pedometer and digital pet. This page is a fantastic look at Nintendo 64 games, with Total Test promising a thorough evaluation of every game. We've got a rundown of new gear, like the Rumble Pack and Memory Pack, and a guide to the best puzzle games to tickle your grey matter. Plus, get the lowdown on the hottest N64 releases in the sales chart, and discover some bargain bin gems. And don't forget the scoring system, from real rubbish to amazing game you must play. They've got it all covered. Mario in his cowboy getup is here to guide us, and there's even a £5 off voucher for N64 games. This page is packed with N64 goodness, showcasing some truly stellar titles with our usual, highly scientific, total test ratings. We've got everything from the addictive fun of Superstar Tennis and the madcap racing of Beetle Adventure Racing, to the strategic depths of Command & Conquer, and the pure mayhem of Destruction Derby. For those seeking more action, Cyber Tiger promises some high-octane thrills, while Diddy Kong Racing continues to be a must-have for any kart racing fan. The review for Donkey Kong 64 is particularly glowing, calling it the world's best platformer. And who are we to argue with that? We also get a glimpse of upcoming titles, like Kirby 64, ISS Millennium, Excitebike 64, Mickey's Speedway USA, and the highly anticipated Dinosaur Planet. It's a veritable smorgasbord of gaming excellence, with plenty of familiar faces and exciting new adventures on the horizon. This page dives deep into the world of Nintendo 64 Rumble Packs, testing a variety of these vibration-inducing accessories alongside some cracking games. We've got reviews for Earthworm Jim 3D, European PGA Tour, and ECW Hardcore Revolution, all rated with that trusty total test score. Then it's on to the Rumble Packs themselves. From the rechargeable Tech Rumble Pack, to the basic Gamester Tremor Pack, and even some Logic 3 vibration options. We see some interesting verdicts on games like Extreme G, Fighter's Destiny, FIFA 98, F-Zero X, and GoldenEye 007, with most of these titles giving a definite thumbs up to the Rumble experience. It's a solid roundup of N64 peripherals, and some of the games that made them worthwhile, with the reviewer clearly impressed by the immersion. This page is all about N64 games, with a special focus on memory packs and rumble packs, as well as a section dedicated to puzzle games. We've got reviews for Jet Force Gemini, Killer Instinct Gold, Knife Edge, Knockout Kings, Lamborghini, Lilac Wars, Lego Racers, Madden Football 64, Mario Party 2, Michael Owen's WLS, Mischief Makers, Magical Tetris Challenge, Micro Machines, Mortal Kombat 4, and Monaco GP. The reviewer seems to be a fan of the Rumble Pack feature, especially in games like Mortal Kombat 4 and Mario Party, and is particularly impressed with the variety of memory packs available, highlighting their affordability. It's a comprehensive look at some of the N64's best titles, with a good mix of action and puzzle games to keep you entertained. This page is a fantastic roundup of N64 games, featuring a Wicked Wheels section that gives you the lowdown on steering wheels for racing games, including the Top Drive 3 and G64 steering wheel. Then it dives into individual game reviews, with Pokémon Stadium getting a whopping 90%, Premier Manager 64 also scoring 90%, and Perfect Dark a near-perfect 97%. No wonder, it's a classic. You've also got Mystical Ninja 2, NBA Courtside, NBA in the Zone 2000, NBA Jam 99, NBA Live 99, NBA Live 2000, NFL Quarterback Club 2000, NFL Quarterback Club 98, NFL Quarterback Club 99, NHL Pro 99, Nuclear Strike, Operation Winback, Quake 2, and Rayman 2. It's clear the reviewer's got a soft spot for the Rumble Pack, especially in games like Quake 2, and thinks Perfect Dark is a must-have. They're also quite impressed with how many games support the memory pack, which is handy for all that save data. This page is a sales chart showcasing the top 10 Nintendo 64 games, with Pokémon Stadium taking the lead. It also features a voucher for £5 off any N64 game from Electronics Boutique, valid until August 2000. Several games are highlighted with brief reviews, including Rakuga Kids, Rat Attack, Ready 2 Rumble Boxing, Resident Evil 2, Robotron 64, and Rocket Robot on Wheels. The page also includes a rental chart for N64 games from Blockbuster. This page is a fantastic roundup of N64 controllers, put through their paces by the seasoned pros. We've got the official Nintendo pad, hailed as the best for a reason, alongside some interesting alternatives like the Trilogy 64, a good value package, and the Stingray 64, which looks the part but has some handling quirks. Then there's the Manta Ray, a real looker that plays better than it seems to handle, and the HyperPad Plus, a solid if slightly sticky option. We also dive into some of the hottest N64 games of the era, with Super Smash Bros. Getting a massive 90% and being called the best beat-em-up you can buy. Tarzan also scores a great 90%, praised for its Disney-style graphics, and Rogue Squadron is another top performer at 90%, a must-have for Star Wars fans. Shadow of the Empire also gets a mention, as does South Park Rally with its hilarious burping farting multiplayer. Super Mario 64 remains king, naturally, with a 94% score and lauded for its secret areas and puzzles. Other games like Tetrisphere and Taz Express also get a nod, showcasing the sheer variety of the N64 library. It's a nostalgic trip through some truly great gaming hardware and software. This collection of N64 game reviews highlights a strong library of titles. Top-rated games include Zelda, 97%, International Track and Field, 94%, Turok 2, Seeds of Evil and Turok, Rage Wars, both 94%, and WWF Attitude, 91%. Several wrestling games score highly, including WWF Warzone, WCW NWO Revenge, and WCW/NWO Thunder, all 90%. Other notable titles are Vigilante 8 and Worms Armageddon, 88%, Top Gear Overdrive and Top Gear Rally, 85%, and Toy Story 2, 84%. Reviews range from solid performers, like Wave Race 64, 80%, to less impressive entries, such as Aerofighter's Assault, 54%. The review strongly advises avoiding WCW mayhem. Overall, the N64 offered a diverse range of gaming experiences with many highly rated classics. This page is a full-page advert for Closet Gamer, offering cheats and walkthroughs for countless games across multiple formats. Call their hotlines or visit their website for details on winning prizes, including a Sega Dreamcast. This page is a fantastic showcase of cheats and tips for Nintendo 64 classics. We dive headfirst into Perfect Dark, revealing how to unlock the awesome Darkness mode and the formidable Super Shield. Then it's time to hit the road with Ridge Racer 64, where we discover how to snag all the bonus cars, including the incredibly cool 00 Agent and the speedy Ultra 64. The page also teases secrets for Galaga 88 and the utterly charming Puka character. This is pure gaming gold. This page offers essential tips for mastering some of the Nintendo 64's biggest hits. We get a breakdown of controller icons for easy navigation. Then, it's on to Star Wars, Episode I Racer, where you'll learn how to input codes for invincibility and debug mode. Just make sure you've cleared a save file first. Next up is the legendary Super Smash Bros., revealing how to unlock Captain Falcon and Jigglypuff. There's also a guide to Donkey Kong 64, including how to replay minigames and refill your health. Finally, a sound test mode for Super Smash Bros. is detailed, letting you listen to all the game's tunes. It's a treasure trove for any N64 fan. This page dives into some seriously useful cheat codes and tips for a variety of N64 classics. We kick off with Official Nintendo Top 5 Tips, featuring advice for Ready to Rumble, Banjo-Kazooie, Duke Nukem, Forsaken, and WWF 2000. For Bash Dat Boss, we get a specific strategy for taking down Shadow Man. Then, F-Zero X shows us how to cheat our way to victory with some handy codes, and the accompanying screenshots show the high-speed action. Moving on, A Bug's Life offers tips for level select and extra lives, which sounds like a godsend for anyone struggling with that game. We also see some helpful advice for GoldenEye 007 in the Big Guns section, and Duke Nukem also gets a mention for infinite ammo. The page also includes a mention of WWF 2000 and how to unlock HBK. It's a solid collection of cheats that'll definitely help you conquer those pesky N64 titles. This page features some cracking tips for 1080-degree snowboarding, letting you unlock the crystal border by finishing Match Race on Expert and beat the gold border. You can also play as the Panda border by beating the gold border, then selecting Kensuke Kimachi. Plus, if you master all the tricks in training, you can unlock the Penguin border. There's also a massive list of cheats and tips for over 3,000 games on the Nintendo 64, PC, PlayStation, PSX2, and Saturn, all available by calling their handy phone numbers. It's a veritable treasure trove for any gamer looking to get ahead. This page is a fantastic showcase of reader-submitted tips for various Nintendo 64 games, with a particularly strong focus on Perfect Dark and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. We've got a brilliant breakdown of how to snag the bomb spy in Perfect Dark by mastering the hoverbike on Crash Site, and for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, we learn how to unlock Officer Dick and Private Carrera, plus a rather amusing girl's picture cheat. The Zelda section offers a detailed guide for obtaining the Bigoron sword, with a clever tip from Aaron Styles on how to navigate the quest. It's a real treat for gamers looking to get that extra edge. This page is your essential guide to mastering some of the N64's biggest hits, featuring tips for Pokémon, Castlevania, Legacy of Darkness, and WWF 2000 Gauntlet. We've got advice on completing your Pokédex, beating the formidable Ortega in Castlevania with a werewolf transformation, and strategies for the WWF 2000 Gauntlet. Plus, a Can You Help section poses reader challenges, including how to deal with those pesky GoldenEye 007 turrets, and defeat Rival Castle in Pokémon Stadium. Don't miss the write-in section for your chance to win some cool Nintendo gear by submitting your own top tips. This page is your ultimate guide to dominating 4N64 classics. We've got the fastest times for Chedge Rally 2, Pokémon Stadium, Ridge Racer 4, and Track and Field. Plus, there's a fantastic chance to prove you're the best gamer, and win prizes. It's a brilliant showcase of some of the console's absolute must-haves, and frankly, these are the scores to beat. This page features a mega challenge from Rare, likely for Donkey Kong 64, and it's all about proving you're the best. They've got the top scores from a previous challenge in DK64's On Guard's Arena, and some cracking tips on how to tackle the new one, which involves the Datadyne Central Extraction level. You'll need to be quick, aiming for under 45 seconds, and remember to send in a photo of your complete screen. The final will be a multiplayer showdown, and it's vital you include a phone number. Otherwise, your place is forfeit. Plus, there's a chance to win a Nintendo controller pad or Rumble Pack if you top one of their leagues. Don't forget to check out the winners list. Congratulations to Sean Matthews from Scotland for taking first place with a whopping 385 points. This page is a comprehensive guide to completing Perfect Dark, focusing on Joe's mission PT2. It breaks down the mission into different difficulty settings, offering specific objectives for special/perfect agent players. We get tips on how to disable the internal security hub, obtain keycard necklaces, and shut down experiments. The guide also covers obtaining experimental technologies and disabling the external comms hub. It's a solid walkthrough for those looking to master Joanna Dark's challenging adventure, and the "We Said" quote about the game being beyond your wildest dreams is spot on. This page is a guide to 2 missions in Perfect Dark, Datadyne Extraction and Carrington Villa Hostage 1. For Datadyne Extraction, it outlines objectives for gaining access to upper floors and defeating Cassandra's bodyguards. For Carrington Villa Hostage 1, players are advised to save the negotiator and rescue Carrington, with specific tips for different difficulties. The page also details special objectives for perfect agents, including eliminating rooftop snipers, reactivating an office elevator, eliminating Datadyne hackers, capturing a Datadyne guard, and destroying a Datadyne helicopter. The advice is clear and concise, offering practical tips for players looking to conquer these challenging missions. This page dives into the Chicago Stealth mission for Perfect Dark, offering guidance across all difficulty levels. It breaks down key objectives, like retrieving drop point equipment and creating vehicular diversions, with handy screenshots to help you along. We then move on to the GS building section, where Joanna's infiltration of the Datadyne building gets even tougher. Here you'll find tips for a holographic meeting and retrieving items from a safe, along with the challenge of finding an exit. The real meat of the page, however, is in the special/perfect objectives sections. These are for the truly dedicated agents looking to master the game. We're talking about deactivating laser grids, disabling a jamming field generator, planting a comms device on an antenna, and even tackling those pesky robot interceptors. There are also special objectives for Area 51 infiltration, including shutting down air ducts and gaining access to a hangar. It sounds like Joanna's work is cut out for her, and for us players too. This page tackles the Area 51 rescue mission for Perfect Dark, detailing how to get through it on all difficulty levels. We're guided through obtaining a lab technician disguise and dealing with the immediate aftermath of rescuing your first alien. The special/perfect objectives then kick into high gear, focusing on a more challenging infiltration. You'll need to destroy computer records, locate conspiracy evidence, and even revive your Mayhem bodyguard, Elvis. There are some particularly tricky bits here, like getting into the secret hangar and making sure Jonathan tags along for the ride. It sounds like a proper test of your skills, but with these tips you should be able to pull it off. This page is a guide for the Air Base Espionage and Air Force One anti-terrorism missions in Perfect Dark. It covers how to obtain disguises, locate the president, and escape with him using the provided screenshots and step-by-step instructions. The Special/Perfect Objectives sections detail tasks like retrieving flight plans and securing the Air Force One, offering advanced strategies for dedicated players. It seems like a thorough walkthrough for tackling these notoriously tricky missions. This page offers a detailed guide to conquering the crash site confrontation and Pelagic 2 exploration missions in Perfect Dark, catering to all difficulty levels. We're treated to some excellent screenshots showing Joanna Dark in action. The guide breaks down objectives like activating a distress beacon and retrieving the president, even pointing out an evil clone that needs dealing with. There's also a helpful section on disabling the GPS and autopilot, and a crucial tip for rendezvous with Elvis, with variations depending on the difficulty setting. The Special/Perfect Objectives offer a challenge for the truly dedicated, focusing on securing research data and activating a moonpool lift, complete with advice on how to deal with scientists. It looks like the perfect companion for anyone struggling with these missions, or just wanting to achieve that elusive perfect run. This page delves into the intricacies of two missions from Perfect Dark, Deep Sea Nullify Threat and Carrington Institute Defense. For Deep Sea Nullify Threat, the guide covers reactivating teleporters and disabling a mega weapon, with helpful screenshots illustrating Joanna's progress through alien environments. It also touches on restoring Drive Carol's personality, emphasizing the need for specific actions on harder difficulties. The Carrington Institute Defense section focuses on releasing hostages and retrieving an experimental weapon. It offers advice on navigating the institute, dealing with guards, and the importance of timing for activating defensive measures. The Special/Perfect Objectives for this mission highlight securing the control room and reactivating automatic defenses, with tips for players aiming for perfection. It's a thorough breakdown, ensuring even the most seasoned operatives can nail those tricky objectives. This page is all about Perfect Dark, offering tips and strategies for two key missions, Attack Ship Covert Assault and Skidar Battle Shrine. It breaks down how to disable the shield system, gain control of the bridge, and even hints at the finer points of opening hangar doors and sabotaging engine systems. The Skidar Battle Shrine section guides you through identifying temple targets and activating a bridge, with some rather stern warnings about the dangers of the Skidar. There are some excellent screenshots here, showing you exactly what you're up against. It finishes with a nod to those who have mastered the game, encouraging them to take on their mates. This page is your essential guide to mastering Perfect Dark's multiplayer modes, focusing on vital tactics to conquer your opponents. It dives into how to leverage your knowledge of the levels for sniping advantages, and explains weapon placement to give you the edge. Plus, it covers the ins and outs of the combat simulator, detailing how to customize your games with options like one-hit kills and slow motion, and even how to unlock new simulant types to test your skills against. It's all about getting that Perfect Dark victory, you know. This page is your definitive guide to Perfect Dark's challenges, offering tips and tricks for all 30 of them. We've got the lowdown on how to tackle everything from the deceptively simple Challenge 1 to the tougher Challenge 15. It's all about mastering those tricky scenarios to unlock new levels and characters for your multiplayer escapades. Plus, there's a handy reference for which levels correspond to each challenge, so you can jump straight into the action. It's your ticket to becoming a Perfect Dark champion, so get stuck in! This page offers essential strategies for navigating two of Perfect Dark's most challenging levels, Skidar and G5 building. For Skidar, it highlights the importance of using vantage points in the main room and the balcony areas for sniping, emphasizing the need for constant strafing and using cover. The guide also advises on how to use the snow-filled tunnels as strategic points. Over in the G5 building, the advice focuses on staying safe on the narrow walkways, suggesting shooting opponents off them to send them plummeting. It points out a prime sniping spot near a small balcony and advises against standing around too long. The text also suggests using the higher walkways to surprise opponents. The pipe section gives crucial advice on avoiding self-inflicted damage from falling, suggesting ways to plant mines effectively in office areas and use pillars for cover. It also recommends using the lower level with its crossing pipes to take out opponents. Finally, the ravine level is described as a vast area with many platforms and deadly pits. The guide suggests using cover, planting drone guns on lifts for maximum coverage, and the best strategy of sniping from above. It stresses the importance of knowing the level's layout for survival. This guide offers strategic tips for 4 perfect dark levels: Sewers, Warehouse, Complex, and Felicity. In the sewers, utilize color-coded tunnels and key positions like a plank crossing. The Warehouse emphasizes using white tunnels for movement and discovering hidden areas like an L-shaped room with powerful weapons. The Complex, reminiscent of GoldenEye, features new routes via drop-off platforms and advantageous vantage points. Felicity demands constant movement. Use toilets for cover, mines on doors and vents for escape. A deadened corridor offers ambush opportunities. The guide also teases a comprehensive Perfect Dark Master Guide and the next installment of the Combat Simulator Guide, including a bonus secret level. It focuses on maximizing map knowledge and utilizing environmental features for tactical advantage in multiplayer combat. This page is all about what the readers have to say, with the first section featuring a letter from Rich, who's been to see Gladiator and thinks a Matrix game from Rare would be a smash hit, which he thinks could be called Matrix Myths. A bit like that other classic, Rich. Then we have Tim, who's a fan of Turok 2 and thinks it's a shame about the invincibility cheats ruining games, which, makes sense. Over in Mario's hotline, Jack from London wants to know how to get all the Pokemon games. And Rich, ever the helpful chap, suggests telling his parents how lucky he is and playing the guilt card. Meanwhile, David from Middlesex reckons N64's WWF WrestleMania is better than the new one, complete with Warzone graphics and rubbish controls. Tim, naturally, disagrees and suggests waiting for WWF No Mercy to prove him wrong. Finally, we've got Bowser's Prison, where Anastasi asks what games you'd take into Bowser's clutches. His choices are Turok 2, Resident Evil 2, and WWF Warzone, all for their sheer brutality and replayability. A man after my own heart. It's a solid page of reader feedback, keeping the community spirit alive. This page features a fantastic Ask Miyamoto section, where the legendary Nintendo creator himself answers reader questions. He even makes a cameo, looking as cheerful as ever, holding a Nintendo magazine featuring Pikachu. We've got some brilliant reader suggestions for games, like a wrestling game pitting WWF classics against each other, and a bold idea for a Matrix game. One reader even ponders a futuristic Zelda, with Link battling a robotic Ganon, which sounds absolutely epic. Miyamoto also touches on the difficulty of games and his own childhood aspirations, revealing he initially wanted to be a musician before falling into the world of video games. It's a great insight into the mind of a gaming genius. There's also a Mario's Hotline section, with readers sharing their thoughts on games and asking for advice. We hear about a proposed Pokemon soccer game and a request for a Cricket 2000 release on the N64. One particularly enthusiastic reader thinks it's great that Nintendo has women working on their teams. Plus, there's a shout-out to the brilliance of Pokemon Red, Blue and Yellow, and a suggestion for a Robot Wars game on the N64. The reader who thinks DK64 is like Banjo, but with Kongs, clearly needs a bit more playtime. Finally, a brilliant idea for Resident Evil on the GBA rounds off the reader submissions. It's a lively and engaged community, that's for sure. This page is a fantastic mix of reader mail and the Mario's hit list section. We kick off with some excellent reader reviews, including the highly praised WWF WrestleMania 2000 for its multiplayer action, and Mario All-Star Olympics for the Dolphin. Then there's the classic ISS 98 getting a nod, alongside some interesting thoughts on Perfect Dark, and a rather amusing complaint about a strategy guide for a game where the reader admits to not actually playing it themselves. The Mario's hit list poses some intriguing questions to the readers, like whether Nintendo should use light guns for Dolphin games, and who they'd most like to date, Lara Croft or Joanna Dark. There's also a curious query about when Pokemon Gold and Silver will be released, to which the answer is a hearty next year, with a promise of the biggest and baddest review. Finally, a reader shares their excitement about the upcoming N64 wrestling games. It's all going on. This page is all about who's the boss when it comes to Super Smash Bros. We've got Sean Wallace from Kingston upon Thames who's being absolutely trounced by his mate Alex Southcombe. The article humorously details their gaming sessions, with Alex seemingly unbeatable, even when Sean tries wonky joypals. The How It Works section explains the NOM challenge: beat your mate, and you win swag. If you lose, your mate gets the loot. We see Sean playing as Donkey Kong and Alex as Kirby, And it's a nail-biting contest where Alex ultimately triumphs, leaving Sean to ponder the pain of defeat. The page wraps up with an invite for readers to write in, with the promise of all this gaming glory being theirs. Classic stuff. This page is a celebration of Pokemaniacs and their dedication. We dive into the good news for everyone section, highlighting new download dates for Mew, and details about the Nintendo official magazine Pokemon Tour 2000, with upcoming dates in Scotland. There's also a new feature, Pokemon Collector, to help you keep track of all the best Pokemon releases. Next up we have Pokemaniac of the Month, featuring a young fan named Fraser and his impressive collection, even debating whether an Articuno or a Squirtle is the superior Pokemon. We also get a glimpse of Pokemum Angela Fenton, whose daughter Josie is clearly a big fan, even getting emotional during the Pokemon movie. The final countdown section teases the Pokemon Championship, reminding us that Mewtwo and Mew aren't allowed to be used, which is probably for the best, as it would make things a bit too easy, wouldn't it? We then see some of the readers' impressive Pokemon teams, with Toby Steed from Oxfordshire boasting a powerful lineup including a level 100 Mewtwo and Articuno. Christopher Jeffrey from Scotland has a solid Venusaur and Articuno, and Jonathan Bradley from Sheffield is also showing off his team. It's all about bragging rights and who has the best Pokemon squad. This page has some rather cracking Pokemon tips from the readers, including where to catch wild Gyarados in Pokemon Yellow, and how to get your hands on a Porygon in Celadon City. It also features a Poké Warrior submission from Harry Prestige, showcasing his ultimate Pokemon team. Then there's a plug for the Pokemon Master Guide, promising all the info you need for Red and Blue, plus the lowdown on Yellow essential reading for any serious trainer really. And finally, we've got an announcement about Topps new Pokemon trading card series, encouraging you to collect them all. This page is all about the upcoming Pokemon Tour and the much-anticipated new download dates. It looks like the UK is in for a treat, with events happening across various locations. We've got a handy table here with dates, venues and addresses, so you can plan your pilgrimage to catch them all. Beyond the main events, there's a Pokemon Championship for the truly dedicated, and a Pokemon Games Arena where you can get your hands on Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Snap. Plus, keep an eye out for character appearances from Pikachu and friends. You might even get a photo with them. And for those who want to look the part, face painters will be on hand to transform you into your favorite Pokemon. It sounds like a fantastic day out for any Pokemon fan. This page details how to get your hands on the elusive Mew, but you'll need to follow the rules precisely, or you'll be sent to the back of the queue. You've got two options. Post your Pokemon cartridge with a gold badge and a piece of paper with your details for the download, or attend one of the Nintendo official magazine's Pokemon Tour events. The Scottish dates are listed, with events in Glasgow and Edinburgh. It looks like they're really trying to make sure everyone gets their Mew, as long as you've got your Pokédex and a free slot in your team, of course. This page is a fantastic showcase for the Pokemon trading card game, highlighting the Brushfire and Lockdown theme decks, along with the Power Reserve deck. It's a real treat for collectors, promising to build a comprehensive Pokemon collection with these essential products. We also get a glimpse of damage counters, which are more than just pretty glass beads. They're crucial for keeping track of battles. And let's not forget the adorable Pikachu and Squirtle plush toys making an appearance. It's a definitive guide for any aspiring Pokemon master looking to enhance their game. This page is a brilliant advert for the Pokemon trading card game, showcasing various theme decks like Zap, Overgrowth, Water Blast, and Blackout, all priced at £7.25. It also features the two-player starter set for £7.25, and the Pokemon coin, which is essential for gameplay. It's a clear invitation to expand your collection and dive deeper into the world of Pokemon battles, really hitting home the "gotta catch 'em all" mantra with these excellent offerings. This page is a fantastic guide for spotting fake Pokemon cards, something we all needed back in the day. It breaks down the telltale signs with tests like the light test to check for transparency, the size test to ensure correct dimensions, and the text test to look for proper spelling and origin details. We also get the color test to ensure vibrancy, and the shine test for holographic cards, plus the sticker test to avoid dodgy sticker cards. It's a real lifesaver for any collector wanting to ensure they're getting the genuine article and not some dodgy rip-off. This page is a brilliant guide on how to keep your precious Pokemon cards in pristine condition and how to spot those elusive promo cards. It highlights essential accessories like card boxes, folders, and albums to protect your collection from the ravages of time and enthusiastic play. We're also treated to a list of promo cards released in the UK, encouraging collectors to snap them up, featuring favorites like Pikachu, Electabuzz, Dragonite, Mewtwo, and Jigglypuff. It's a must-read for anyone serious about their Pokémon TCG game. This page is a fascinating look into the world of Pokémon collecting, answering those burning questions you've always had. We get the lowdown on differences between US and UK cards, and the surprising news that European versions are printed in a whole host of languages. It's also revealed that Wizards of the Coast has the global license for the trading card game outside Japan, while Media Factory handles things in Japan. Get ready for the Team Rocket expansion coming this September, packed with new and rare holographic cards, and don't forget about the awesome new Topps Pokémon TCG Series 2, complete with a new wave of cards, cartoon scenes, stickers, and even die-cut embossed cards. Plus, there's a tantalizing prize for designing your own Pokémon card, so get those creative juices flowing. And to top it all off, next month's issue will be featuring a review of some of the best official Pokémon toys from Hasbro, including a rather cute Squirtle beanie. This page is a Blagfest competition page, offering readers the chance to win some cracking prizes. We've got 4 categories: superhero adventures with Batman of the Future videos, WCW wrestling videos, games with Taz Express, and cartoon capers with Chicken Run goodies. There's also a riotous wrestlers section, with WWF wrestling prizes. The competition instructions are clear. Write your answer on a postcard or envelope, include your name, age and address, mark it with the compo name and the magazine's address, lick a stamp, and post it. Looks like a proper giveaway. This page is a fantastic showcase of what's new and exciting on the Nintendo 64. We're treated to a massive Nintendo news headline, promising all the inside scoop. The main feature dives into Donald Duck Quack Attack, highlighting its stunning graphics and gameplay, with mentions of brilliant levels, top-notch gameplay, and hilarious characters. Apparently, it's made by the same folks behind Rayman 2, so you know it's going to be good. We also get a glimpse of the game's action, showing Donald Duck navigating a quirky, colorful world. Scattered across the page are lists of other N64 titles and their corresponding page numbers, including Blues Brothers 2000, Cruisin' Exotica, Dolphin News, Donald Duck, Quack Attack, Fighter Destiny 2, Mario Tennis, Pikachu N64, Resident Evil 0, Sarge's Heroes 2, StarCraft 64, The World Is Not Enough, and Chorok 3. It's a veritable smorgasbord of gaming goodness. This page is a fantastic close-up of Donald Duck, looking rather intense in his sailor outfit and iconic hat. It seems to be a showcase for the Nintendo 64, with a prominent news banner and the Nintendo 64 logo up top. In the bottom right corner, we see Nintendo 79 and Official Magazine, confirming this is indeed a page from the magazine. It's a great visual to hype up a game, even if we don't see any gameplay itself here. This page is a preview of Donald Duck Quack Attack for the Nintendo 64. The story sees Donald on a rescue mission for his sweetheart Daisy, who's been kidnapped by the wizard Murloc. It sounds like a classic platformer adventure with puzzles, challenging bosses, and colorful Disney graphics, including some spooky corridors and tricky Aztec ruins with collapsing platforms. The reviewer seems impressed, calling the game brilliant fun and a perfect platformer action experience you'd expect from a Disney title. This page is a preview of Fighter Destiny 2, a game that promises to be a real knockout on the Nintendo 64. The magazine highlights its wicked moves, cool fighters, and frenzied fighting, even mentioning some rather unusual survival modes like Rodeo, where you have to survive on a cow. It looks like the sequel builds on the first game, with more fighters, including new ones like Dog, and updated graphics that are, dare I say it, pretty amazing. Pierre the Psycho Clown is back, and mailing is still as fast as lightning. The reviewer is clearly excited, hoping it can improve on the already excellent first game, and become one of the best beat-em-ups on the N64. If wrestling is more your thing, they cheekily suggest checking out WWF No Mercy. This page features a preview of Cruisin' Exotica for the Nintendo 64. It's a fast-paced arcade racer that takes players to exotic locations like Hong Kong, Ireland, Las Vegas, and even Mars, with the promise of intergalactic racing. The game boasts 14 tracks and hidden vehicles to unlock, including a rather amusing forklift truck. A 4-player mode is also highlighted, though only a single race mode is confirmed at this point. The reviewer seems to think it's a solid follow-up to Cruisin' USA, expecting it to be pretty damn good, even if it doesn't quite reach out-of-this-world status. There are some cool screenshots showcasing the diverse environments and gameplay, including a rather odd-looking whale on one track. This page is a cracking advert for Cheats for Free. You can win a Sega Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, Nintendo 64, £150 worth of games, a Pentium 2 IPC, a Toshiba laptop, and loads of other goodies like trading cards and wrestling merchandise. Just call the numbers provided to enter. Don't miss out on your chance to grab some awesome prizes. This page is a fantastic preview of Mario Tennis for the Nintendo 64. It highlights the game's accessibility, noting that it's easy to pick up and play, much like Mario Golf. The review emphasizes the fun and chaotic nature of the gameplay, with quirky courts and a cast of beloved Mario characters ready to battle it out on the court. We get a glimpse of Mario himself, looking ready for action, and the text promises that all your favorite characters will be unlockable, requiring you to play through the game to gain access to them. It sounds like a must-have for any Mario fan looking for some sporting fun. This page dives into the cool court challenges of Mario Tennis on the Nintendo 64, focusing on the notoriously tough ring challenge. It explains that simply winning a point isn't enough. You need to hit the ball through hoops and stay within the lines. The reviewer notes that it's much harder than it looks, even trying it themselves. We see screenshots of Donkey Kong in the umpire's chair, and Mario unleashing a powerful forehand. The text also mentions that some special shot effects are so stunning, you might miss your return just gawking at them. Classic Mario Tennis. Plus, you can compete in what's described as the Mario equivalent of Wimbledon. The page also features a brief bio on Mario's many careers, from plumber to tennis star, and the reviewer's enthusiastic prediction that Mario Tennis will be awesome, stunning, and incredibly realistic, especially with Matza at the helm. It really sounds like it's going to be a smashing success. This page is all about StarCraft 64, a real-time strategy game where you command 3 alien races, the Zerg, Terran and Protoss, in an epic intergalactic struggle. The reviewer is hyped, saying if the N64 needs anything, it's more strategy games, and StarCraft 64 could be it. It boasts amazing weapons, a spellbinding story, and explosive combat, with fantastic battle strategies to master. The screenshots showcase intense battles across varied environments, from deserts to snowbound wastes. You'll be building bases, defending them, and unleashing your forces to utterly demolish your enemies. It looks like a real challenge, especially when your fuel mines run dry and you can't produce more units. Don't get caught with your pants down, or your Protoss Archons will be on a serious rampage. This page dives into the multiplayer aspect of The World Is Not Enough for the N64, touting it as a potential GoldenEye beater. Euro.com's 3D shooter is set to release in November, and the reviewer is clearly impressed with its multiplayer battles, even if the single-player modes are still being finalized. They highlight the fast-paced action, strategic weapon and ammo placement, and the variety of multiplayer arenas, including free-for-all and team scraps. The screenshots show intense combat scenarios, from sprawling armies clashing to close-quarters shootouts in what look like secret underground labs. The reviewer's verdict? While it might not be the prettiest N64 game ever, it promises to be the best war strategy game for the console, with deep gameplay that rivals even Perfect Dark. This page features a preview of Blues Brothers 2000 for the Nintendo 64. It highlights the game's funky music, cool characters, and original puzzles. The gameplay is described as a 3D platformer, where players control Elwood Blues, who is on a quest to raise money for his band, facing 25 levels of puzzles and enemies. Screenshots show Elwood in various environments, including a graveyard and Chicago streets, facing off against skeletons and police. The reviewer seems optimistic, suggesting the game could be a top 10 hit due to its originality and catchy musical puzzles. It's a proper deep dive into what promises to be a rather unique N64 title. This page is a full-page advertisement for Wickedware, showcasing their Nintendo 64 and Game Boy Color offerings. It's a veritable treasure trove of retro gaming goodness, featuring Pokémon Stadium, Pokémon Yellow, and a plethora of other N64 classics. We also see some fantastic Game Boy Color accessories, including the much-coveted Rumble Pack and a rather snazzy steering wheel. It's enough to make any gamer's heart skip a beat. This page dives into the exciting world of Turok 3, highlighting its multiplayer capabilities. You can go head-to-head with friends, or even computer-controlled bots for some solo action. The game boasts 8 different modes, and it sounds like they've really ramped up the AI for the bots this time around, making them a formidable challenge. We get a glimpse of the gameplay with 4 screenshots, showing off different scenarios and the game's stats screen, which is always a nice touch to see how you fared against the competition. 3 of the standout multiplayer modes are detailed. Golden Arrow, where you're tasked with capturing a flag and then making a hasty retreat. Arsenal of War where players cycle through weapons upon death, and Monkey Tag, a rather amusing take on hide-and-seek with primates. It all sounds like a rip-roaring good time, and Turok 3 is shaping up to be a must-have for any N64 shooter fan. This page features a rather menacing-looking creature, likely from Turok 3, with glowing eyes and sharp teeth. The text suggests that the game is a blast, especially the one-player mode, and that the multiplayer will be packed with thrills once Oblivion is out of the way. It also mentions a specific move where you can sneak up on opponents and deliver a swift axe to the head, followed by a rather gory description of the aftermath. Sounds like a proper good time for those who enjoy a bit of dino-stomping action. This page is a fantastic advert from Gameplay, offering a massive sale on 64 consoles and games. You can grab a console in various colors, bundles with classic titles like Zelda 64 and Turok, and even a Donkey Kong 64 bundle. They've got all the essential accessories too, like memory cards and rumble packs, all at ridiculously low prices. Don't forget their money-back guarantee and free 48-hour delivery. What's not to love? This page gives us the lowdown on Army Men, Sarge's Heroes 2, promising cooler locations and more exciting battles than its predecessor. The makers are clearly pulling out all the stops to make this sequel a winner, introducing a new villain, Brigitte Bleu, and letting us battle across bedrooms, graveyards, and even inside a pinball machine. We'll also be controlling Vicky, another elite trooper, alongside Sarge. There's also a glimpse of the upcoming Pikachu N64 console, a rather snazzy yellow and blue machine with a glowing Pokeball power button, and Pikachu's leg serving as the reset button. It's definitely got us excited for what's to come, though we'll have to wait for the price to be finalized. The Fast News section also provides an update on Mew download dates, with a helpful list of venues and dates for events. This page dives into some exciting Dolphin news. We've got Resident Evil 0 potentially making its way to the new console, which is fantastic news for horror fans. It's set to be a prequel, and the visuals on the Dolphin are expected to blow the N64 version out of the water. We also hear about Capcom's Onimusha possibly coming to Dolphin, described as a Resident Evil-style game set in feudal Japan with samurai and geisha. And in a massive bit of news for Star Wars fans, LucasArts is working on a new Star Wars game for Dolphin, with a setting that sounds like it could be inspired by the original movies. Plus, there's a rumor that Starcube might be the Dolphin's real name, intriguing, to say the least. Finally, there's a bit about racing Jacques Villeneuve, working with Ubisoft, on a racing game for the Dolphin, which sounds rather fun. This page is a massive advert for Cyber Video Games Experts and King Cat Entertainment, both offering mail-order video games. Cyber Video Games Experts, located at 287 Putney Bridge Road, London, boasts of having the best mail-order games on the internet, and provides a phone number and website. King Cat Entertainment, on the other hand, highlights its Pokémon offerings, including plush toys, t-shirts and keyrings, along with a variety of Game Boy games and trading cards. They also offer advice on how to win Pokémon goodies, and have a Cheats Unlimited section for over 3,000 games, with different phone numbers for access. This page is the front cover of the magazine, and it's a real cracker. We're promised the biggest and best, with next month shouting at us in bold orange. Apparently we'll get the biggest, best and first previews of Nintendo 64 in games, plus tons of screenshots and tips that are easy to understand. It also boasts that the magazine is easy to understand and use, and our tips, moves and cheats work and help you get more from games. They also promise you can trust what our writers say, and you'll never need to buy any other magazines. The star of the show, though, is undoubtedly The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, with Link looking as determined as ever, and a cheeky Pikachu peeking in. They're teasing us with hilarious games, mind-blowing baddies, amazing attacks, and fantasy worlds explored. Plus, we get a sneak peek at what's coming up in updated and reviewed sections, with Banjo-Kazooie and Hey You, Pikachu getting a mention, and on the review side, we've got Blues Brothers 2000 and Hercules. All in all, it's a fantastic preview of what's to come, and it's a definite must-buy. This page is all about Pokemon Snap. It's splashed across the cover with the iconic trio of Charmander, Zapdos, and a very smug-looking Dragonite. We're promised gorgeous worlds, every crazy critter, and take wicked pictures, all culminating in being the best snapper. It's also touting the plus factor with a Game Boy Color feature, offering must-have mini-mag packed with all the best Game Boy reviews, tips and cheats. Down at the bottom we've got a quick look at Perfect Dark, with secrets to find and multiplayer tips, alongside Planet Nintendo's best tips and cheats for Jigglypuff. Delightful. This page is a Nintendo Mastermind quiz, split into 3 rounds. General Knowledge, Name the Game, and Talking Nintendo. The General Knowledge section asks 10 questions about the Mario universe and Nintendo history, featuring images of Bowser and other characters. Name the Game presents 4 screenshots from various Nintendo games, challenging players to identify them. Talking Nintendo tests your familiarity with famous video game quotes, with character images to match. It also highlights upcoming games like Perfect Dark and offers a big question for readers to answer. This page is a full-page advert for Turok Rage Wars on the Nintendo 64, offering a free gift when you join Special Reserve for a year. It highlights the game's deathmatch gameplay and promises over 20 more free gifts. This page is a cracking full-page advert for Game Boy Color games at HMV. You can snag any 2 Game Boy Color titles for a mere £30, or go for the Game Boy Color console with 1 game for £84.99, 2 games for £94.99, or 3 for £109.99. It showcases some fantastic titles like International Track and Field, Ronaldo v Football, Star Wars, Yoda Stories, WWF WrestleMania 2000, Ready 2 Rumble Boxing, and Rugrats, the movie. Plus, there are some game consoles scattered about, looking ever so tempting. You can also buy online at www.hmv.co.uk, or call 08705334578, or visit one of their over 100 stores. It's a proper blast from the past.